Somehow it seems like every time I start one of these videos, I'm on someone from Cumberland Collected's wheel. And yeah, right behind me here is a friend who in Electric City just wanted to ride on the hoods. So wherever we should be. A little bit of a homecoming here. As you can see, I got a couple guys from CSL in front of me. We got Logan. I know that we got Kyle, Jason, and Hunter definitely made it as well. Nate made the trek from Virginia, which is great. Jason and Hunter just did the 4-5 where there's a big crash in this corner we're about to round up here. And I'm seeing some of the guys from Automatic Lonely Hearts here, so I know it's going to be an interesting race. A bunch of those guys can definitely hammer. So yeah, we're going to definitely pay attention to that hay bale and this little kicker here. And if you just take a quick look in the top right corner, yeah, it's toasty. Road to the race, road home. Definitely felt like bacon bits by the end of it. But yeah, let's cut ahead and see some of the action. Now, I've only cut up ahead maybe a lap or so, but it seemed like every time we came down this hill, everybody was just totally uncorking it. And you can see this guy's rider sitting in front of me. Just, you can tell by the body language, he's just really working to try to get back on the back of this. But sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but as you can see, we've got a guy in some neon green winter kit here going on, and it's 106 degrees, so I'm not sure what's going on here. Maybe he's training for some heat acclimation or something, but yeah, I know for sure at this point I was sweating, so I am going to guarantee he was as well. In my opinion, there were only two really technical turns. This, because the change in grade, and then the last corner that we went up that kicker. I do believe we see a rider or two wipe out back there near the hay bales eventually. I'm gonna have to scrub ahead and find that for later in the video. But yeah, this is a great course. I missed this last year. I think it used to be called Mainline. Now it's the Ardmore bike race. But yeah, ton of fun. If you haven't done this race before and you live in Philly, I think it's like a 20-mile ride, so it's pretty rideable to and from. So we're creeping up to lap 7 here, and again, I'm coming to this right-hander because that manhole cover right there, I think I drill about 9 different times, which really stinks by the end of this race, and I'll get to that eventually. But one of the things I noticed was that the wind looks like it's coming from the right-hand side here. So as you can see, as my watts are going down, I'm just coasting up to the front here at 140 watts here. I mean, anytime you're sitting next to Andrew Wolf, Cat-Free State Champ PA, I don't think you're doing a bad job here. And yeah, you can tell how hot it is watching some riders spray themselves with a little bit of water here. And it's still single file. I'm able to recover while coming down that straightaway. Oop, that spooked me a little bit there. I thought the guy's back wheel was going to start fishtailing. And again, we're on this backstretch here. I'm just cooking it. But heart rate's in check. Just going over a couple of these speed bumps for pedestrians. And yeah, it's 7 laps and like we're only plus 4 seconds on our fastest lap. Like we're moving. One more time, we're coming out of that corner and we get that initial surge. Everybody's kind of kicking it in the front. I can slot in here, protect myself from the wind, and just soft pedaling my way up to the front here. So the strategy was actually to have the team kind of work for me, but I just wasn't feeling it today. The plan was to try to like see if I can recover and relax and just maybe give it a kick for the last lap or two and see where we land. But as you can see, I'm a little too far back here. I do make an effort to try to get back up to the front, but some of these turns just make it a little bit dicey to try to lean into these turns and try to kick it through. And again, here we go. We're going to surge. 700-800 watts. 2x wide. And we got one of the guys from Cumberland just sitting on my wheel back here too. Just watching this video, man, this was a really fun course. I kind of wish I felt it a little bit better that day. Yeah, there's Josh too. Alright, so we're gonna move ahead a little bit now. It had just occurred to me that this was the race that Chris Eck from General Classification was off the front for like 11 laps or something. Yeah, in the background you can hear Bill Ellison saying that we're all back together now. I had almost forgot because he was just sending it. I think he had like a minute gap for a little bit there. It was something ridiculous. So yeah, that would explain why all of our laps are within like 5 seconds of each other. And here's our friend on the hood sprinting again. And it's single file behind me. This backstretch must have been where everybody was just getting slaughtered. Man, I can't say enough nice things about Logan and Hunter and Jason and Nate. Yeah, our communication was really good today too. Just letting him know there if he needs a slot in, he can take that spot so he doesn't have to worry about that barrier. And yeah, as you can see, he's getting me on his wheel, making sure that he can keep me and the rest of the guys kind of together here. So yeah, it was nothing from the team that went wrong. It was just me today. And I'm gonna put that squarely on my shoulders, is just not performing. And I think that's Alden behind me putting his head down, suffering a little bit. I think if you've got someone from Doylestown suffering, you know it's a hard, fast race. And 106 degrees still, it's savage. It's right about here that the wheels start coming off the train for us. You can tell just looking at Logan's body language here, he's just not feeling it. I think there might be a picture of him on the internet, like visibly throwing up. And now the heat's just got people making some interesting choices and decisions here. And Alden here almost gets a little wheel overlap action. Just quick congratulations on not eating a whole bunch of tarmac here. Yeah, this backstretch. I don't think there's a single time we go through this backstretch where I'm not hitting something around 700 watts. Even Sosh is letting me know that I performed as a category 4. I mean, really, all I did was earn 2 hot dogs. That's not a lot, right? Since I do feel like I underperformed, I feel like now might be a good time to try something a little different with the channel today. So,
meanwhile,
enter our gluten-free friend, Matt. Yes, Matt. One of the guys that shows up on the Tuesday ride and bangs like a boss. Yeah, I said that. Check that stash out. Ladies, I think he's taken. Careful. I'm sure right about now Matt's regretting giving me his footage while we do gluten-free watts and some gluten-free cider as his heart rate. But while I'm back there playing patty cake, he's been shutting down Chris Eck's big move. We're, what, 15 laps in? And he just got reeled in. So kudos to Chris for just hanging out solo out there for so long. I mean, it's basically the whole damn race. I'm just mesmerized that Chris didn't just pull off to the right here and just kind of slot back in. Matt does him dirty and just kind of sits on his wheel, coasting at 180 watts. It's mean. I mean, I'm going to speed this up to double time just to give this a frame of reference on how long he does him dirty. You know, maybe Chris is just trying to stay out the front here, just make sure he stayed out of harm's way on these corners. Chris is finally. Yeah, I know that feeling. So, looking at Matt's heart rate, it doesn't look like he's really hurting right now. But I was scrubbing ahead. Man, he just sits on the front here forever. I'm bumping this up to 3 times speed here, just to prove a point. I do think it's an entire lap. He just sits up there. I mean, some of it's a manageable effort, but yeah, he's soft pedaling it. Then picks it back up. And then we get a solo flyer here on the right. No one wants to hop. That's gotta be frustrating, Matt. We'll throw it back to about the middle of the race here, where you can see my camera and my much higher heart rate. But I've got nothing but traffic in front of me here, so there's not a lot of options right now as we're coming up on that next right-hander. While he's up there kind of just keeping it chill, I'm kind of getting overtaken and swarmed a little bit here because I'm not taking a good line. So yeah, lesson learned here. Front of the race definitely seems a little bit safer at Ardmore. Meanwhile, while I'm back there, my friend Matt is watching as the pack is trying to claw back that solo rider that just took off in front. And you can see Chris. I think Chris is a little bit salty. There's no way he's gonna let that break go away without him after all the effort he put in there. And there's Dan. Dan's not ready to shut that down. And our boy Matt finds his way back to the front of the race. Coming back to the chicane again. Chris takes a peek, knows he's caught, gets shut down. And Joe just shoots the gap. This is a pivotal point in the race. Everybody just slow rolls it up this hill now. I think Chris is mad that everybody's getting away but him. Matt's taking a peek around his armpit here. No one wants to help Matt out. Why is everybody doing Matt dirty? And Chris punches through right at the finish line here. I think we've got 2 laps to go. Trying to get some separation. This time Dan has him marked. It's fun to see this from someone else's perspective here, but it looks like Santos, or maybe that's Phil, kind of comes up from GC to help out Chris. And the guys are starting to get organized, which is good, especially because if you look at Matt, that heart rate's higher than it's been all race long. Now, I gotta give kudos to Matt. He did get a little patient there, but lets everybody do a little bit of work. Gets behind Dan, looks around. He's only gone down, what, 6 points in heart rate here? Up. Chris is back on it. He was patient. I think we got 2 to go. And Chris and I think that's JC. They motivated. If I had a serious voice, I'd use it now, because you're about to see JC just turn himself inside out because he knows this race is over if they don't. Matt's at 183 and we're flying. Remember, it's 2 to go. We still So we got 2 riders off the front here. And JC just kills himself because he's got a teammate that's in the top 5 here, and he's just trying to get everybody up there. I mean, we're doing 29 miles an hour here. Bell lap. And we're gonna slow it down back to normal here. So now that JC's wrapped up his pole, Matt takes it on his shoulders because he's got 2 teammates in this as well. So I guess Matt went full domestique today. Meanwhile, Sizzly's back there with the guy with the winter/summer kit on. But Matt's up here showing all of his cards. All in here. And then Matt Meyer from John overtakes him on the right. Trying to be the first one to this corner. And Chris is just announcing he wants the inside. Matt takes that so wide, almost hits that cone. Oh my goodness. Alright, and the guys are ripping up the stretch. Meanwhile, back here, ooh, someone does take that cone out. And here we go. We're going to approach this second last turn here with that kicker. And we've got Chris off the front. Oh. Geez, I don't think anybody made it through that alive. And here comes the best of the rest. I see there's a couple people piled up here. And woo, almost got to join that crash myself. Honestly, if it weren't for Bike Ridge, I wouldn't even know who won this race. But I do know that Joe Evers took second, so the break does make it. So great job, guys. Glad you were able to make it. Total bummer for what happened to Matt and Chris. And a microcosm of my day. I just dropped my chain, so I lose any chance of some points here. Matt's okay. He ends up getting up a little bit worse for wear, as you can tell from this picture right about here. But I'm gonna slow that crash down there for a little bit and just show you what happened. So Chris takes it super hot and just loses it. Matt gets a little nervous and grabs a little bit too much brake, loses the backside. Danny goes into him. Wow, Danny's really lucky he didn't go face first. That really could have been so much worse. And there I finally make a pass. But hey, it's not all bad news. Like I said, this was basically like our homecoming. They just can't let him know he looks strong out there. All the local boys out there, tons of fun. Really looking forward to next year. This is such a blast. Anybody who hasn't done Ardmore, come on out. It's gonna be fun next year. Come say hi, come grab a beer with me. And yeah, until next time, Grizzly out.
I still went down just because I was like, there's the spasm. Back to normal. Oh, I'm okay. Yeah. That's probably the best crash you could have at a race. People just kind of go down. No, there wasn't a pile up. It was pretty clean as they go. But that one looks painful. Everybody's fine. Chris